PDubs Arcade Loft is a channel made by adults for adults. Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to PDubs Arcade Loft. We appreciate you hanging out upstairs with us, and this is an episode of the Loft Report. In fact, this is actually going to be interesting. This is going to be our YouTube replay of our Loft Report podcast. So for those of you who are new to the channel, new to me, my name is Patrick, and I love making YouTube videos, just starting to get into this the last couple of months. And then, of course, I just started a podcast. It's an arcade podcast. It's called the Loft Report, and actually you can find the Loft Report on Anchor, on Spotify, on Breaker, on Google Podcasts, on Overcast, on Pocket Casts, on Radio Public, iTunes. It should be distributed almost everywhere. So if you're a podcast fan like me, hell, I don't even listen to music in the car anymore, guys. I have an hour commute to and from work every day, so what do? I usually listen to podcasts. So hopefully you'll consider adding us to your commute listen playlist. So what the plan, of course, is we definitely want you to listen to the podcast. But what we'll do is we'll take the podcast, and after it's broadcast, as soon as I can get to it, we'll post a replay on YouTube. The YouTube replay is going to be edited down, so we are going to cut some things out. So for instance, this replay of episode 1, I think episode 1 was about 22 minutes. This one's going to be about 15 minutes. We're just going to cut all the boring stuff out. But if you want to listen to the full, unedited, unadulterated, profanity-laden, possibly version, then you're probably going to want to follow it on the podcast medium. So what we're going to do here on this first episode, though, guys, because obviously it's January 3rd, and in a couple of days I'm leaving for CES Convention in Vegas. I unfortunately don't have a lot of time for editing, so I'm just going to have a splash screen on this particular episode, and you can listen to the podcast. Some good stuff here. Great predictions for CES. You probably don't want to miss it. But obviously on future YouTube replays, we're going to add all that extra stuff to make, the visuals. We'll add video and pictures and stuff. That way, while you're listening, you'll see some great stuff on the YouTube replay. Okay, here we go, and hope you guys enjoy. All right, guys, that's enough about me, so let's get into it. So this is our premiere episode. It is our holiday episode. We wanted to wish all of you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The New Year is just a week away, and 2019 is ending. 2020 is here, or it will be here. The future is now. And when I take a look at what's going to happen here in 2020 when it comes to in-home arcade gaming, especially when it comes to the 3/4 scale in-home arcade market, which is what we'll primarily focus on in this podcast, as well as my passion and love for these companies such as Arcade1Up, Atgames, and Toy Shock, for instance, and who knows what else we might see at CES. Definitely wanted to highlight some predictions. I think this is a great way to kick off this particular segment on our channel, and to kick off this particular podcast is what are our predictions for CES in 2020 when it comes to in-home arcade gaming or gaming of that nature. All right, guys, let's jump to it. Let's jump to our 3/4 scale in-home arcade companies and what my predictions are for 2020 at CES and what we're going to see. Let's kick it off with Toy Shock, and what's interesting about Toy Shock is they came out with their digital pinball machine less than a month ago, late November 2019. Folks just started receiving them a couple of weeks ago. I've posted several videos on my YouTube channel. I've definitely developed a great relationship with the folks at Toy Shock. I love this little pinball machine with its ability to play 12 classic Gottlieb titles. Obviously, this pinball machine is not going to be for everybody. Because it plays the older Gottlieb titles, and it's running an Android clone version of the Pinball Arcade software, which is developed itself specifically for this product by Farsight Studios. They have been involved with Toy Shock in developing this program. In fact, even at CES, some of the folks manning the Toy Shock booth will be Farsight Studios representatives, and I look forward to meeting them in person. I will be there. I did volunteer, reached out to Toy Shock to work their booth, to help them hype their product, as well as basically, I'm going to be a booth babe. Lord knows what I'm going to wear. And kind of be an MC and also be a demonstrator and really show off their new pinball machines, because they will be showing new pinball machines off at CES. Now, of course, I can't give away too much right now because I am kind of in deep with them and definitely don't want to upset them. But they are definitely going to be showing off some newer digital pinball machines. And it's great for them to be first to the market, but obviously their competitors are going to try and one-up them. That's what happens when you're first. You release a product, everyone takes a look at what you did, see what people like, see what people don't, and then try to release a product that's even better than yours. Toy Shock is definitely going to have some competition on their hands at CES when it comes to digital and virtual pinball machines. And we'll get to those more here in a minute. Now, their particular pinball machine is very small. It's targeted as a toy for children. But if they pay close attention and keep improving their product based upon the feedback we've provided them, and if they kind of switch their appetite and their product and gear it towards the 30 to 50-year-old retro gaming community, because I'll be honest, we're going to spend a lot more time playing these toys, these digital pinball machines, than our 7, 8, 9, 10-year-olds in the long run. So my predictions for them, and keep in mind, I do know more that I can't reveal, but some of my predictions are we will definitely see several new machines at CES. We're going to see the same machine they've released already, which they've only released the Haunted House machine with 12 titles. We are going to see that particular machine in different variations, including possibly black hole graphics, Bone Buster graphics, Class of 1812 graphics. If you ask me, I'm very, very excited to see what the graphics look like. The vinyl wrap on this machine with the black hole setup, I think that's going to be a hot seller based upon the concept art they've already released to their Facebook fan page. And then, of course, Class of 1812, if you take a look at that Facebook fan page where the community has been providing feedback, the Class of 1812 seems to be the sleeper hit and the favorite for their particular cabinet out of the 12 games that have already been released. Now, they're also going to be including, and I'm predicting that we might possibly see another pinball machine that might have some new stuff on it. I guess that's the best way I can say it without giving away the farm and getting myself in trouble. So yeah, I would not count Toy Shock out just yet, folks. I think there is a room in this market for them, just like there's a room to have Arcade1Up plus Atgames in your arcade room. I think you're going to still have room for a virtual pinball machine, a Toy Shock, as well as some of these other pinball machines that we're going to talk about next.
Rage.
All right, guys, Rage is right. And what is the Rage? The Atgames Legend Ultimate. That's right. The Atgames Legend Ultimate is all the rage right now. In fact, they released their product just a couple months back, picking up a bundle at Sam's Club, and then slowly released another bundle to Walmart. Actually, in Walmart, it was a machine that was slightly smaller in size, maybe by an inch or two, depending on how you look at it. And then, of course, it didn't have the bonus of 3 months of free ArcadeNet and a free Blast dongle, which came with the Sam's Club bundle. So, and what's interesting is it was still $100 cheaper at Sam's Club for that bundle. So the Atgames Legends Ultimate comes out. People start picking it up. Lots of guys, including myself, start posting all kinds of review videos. And in fact, because it's an internet-capable, internet-connected machine with firmware updates, and basically it's a platform machine that you can almost do anything you want to it. You can hook up Raspberry Pis. You can link your computer to it. You can do local streaming. They have their own ArcadeNet, which is very similar to an Xbox Live PlayStation 4 type function where they have extra games online for you available to play. And not only that, through their ArcadeNet function, you can play with your friends who also have an Atgames Legends Ultimate. So cool, in my opinion, for me to be able to say, hey, you know what? I feel like playing Metal Slug with one of my buddies. Let's hop on there and let's play together at the same time. And then, of course, they have the streaming capabilities, the BYOG, bring your own game features, where you can link Steam and Blizzard and all these other platforms, and whatever compatible games you have in your library, you can play them on your Atgames Legend Ultimate using the arcade controls. And, like I just did a video on Pinball FX3. It was so much fun to play on the Legends Ultimate. So it's basically a machine that almost does everything. And when you have a machine that does everything, well, the question is, what are you going to do next? The machine's been a hit. It's sold out almost everywhere. Good luck finding one before the end of the year. So the question for Atgames is, what's going to happen next year? So based upon the digging and the research that I've done, I do believe that at CES, we are going to see, and my prediction is, we are going to see a new machine from Atgames. But my prediction is this: it is not going to be a pinball machine. Either we are going to see a kind of a Generation 2 Legends Ultimate, or we're going to see another arcade machine of a different type. When you look at their competitors, they've released arcade machines, they've released cocktail tables, they've released wallcades, which are now called partycades, and they've also released those desktop bar top ones. So I do believe, and my prediction is, Atgames will show off a brand new arcade machine at CES 2020, but it is not going to be a pinball machine. It's going to be one of those other types that I just mentioned. I think Atgames is not ready yet to get into the pinball market, although I do feel it won't be long before they're there.
Finish him!
All right, guys, speaking of finish him, let's talk about Arcade1Up. Are they going to finish him? Are they going to finish their competition at CES 2020? So Arcade1Up has become almost a recognized national brand. Their popularity is booming. They've been around for 12 months. They've been around the longest. They have the fan base. They have the loyalty. They have the revenue streams. They have the company size. They have the developers. They have the resources to really take off from here and try to keep these competitors like Toy Shock and Atgames in the rearview mirror. So when it comes to CES 2020, I am predicting we're going to see a whole bunch of products from Arcade1Up. I'm pretty sure we're going to see some stools and other branded decor for your arcade room. We're probably going to see more plushies, more wall art, more wall decorations, more light up signs, things of that nature. We might even see some optional things you could purchase aftermarket, such as light up marquees or who knows what else, to make your Wave 1 and 2 cabinets that much better. So I do think that they're going to hit us with the fluff. Now, the question is, are they also going to hit us with the stuff? So when it comes to the marathon that is CES, I think we are going to see several different things. I think we are going to see, finally, live and in person, we're going to see that Burger Time cabinet. They've been telling us about this thing for not years, I almost said years. They've been telling us about this thing for, it feels like 4 to 6 months, and we still haven't seen it live and in person yet. Everyone's been asking about it. There is a market that wants to purchase it, and I think mostly due to the looks of the cabinet. It is going to have a unique design, kind of like the Star Wars cabinet, where the side panels mimic the original arcade machine, the shape, and the shape is totally different than the standard Arcade1Up cabinet shape. I think what you're going to see is that you're going to see on Burger Time, of course, based on the concept art they've shown us, this cabinet will have the chef's hat shape to the side panels, which I think, because of its unique design and cute artwork, I think that's why a lot of people are going to want to purchase it. In fact, if I purchase that cabinet myself, in all honesty, I'm only going to be purchasing it because of the way it looks and the way it'll add a little bit of distinctiveness to the arcade room or Arcade Loft that I have in my home. Otherwise, I would not be purchasing that cabinet because those games, I have 20 other ways to play Burger Time and Karate Champ and all that kind of stuff. The games itself don't excite me, but the cabinet design does. I also think we're finally going to see the NBA Jam cabinet. We're definitely going to see that in person. I think that's a long rumored cabinet, and I think it's going to happen. I'm thinking Burger Time is day one, and I'm thinking NBA Jam will be day two. And then I also think we're going to see one more cabinet. And if I had to pick between Dragon's Lair and The Simpsons, which are the other two big rumored cabinets, I would have to go with The Simpsons. I think we will see a Dragon's Lair cabinet, but I think it'll be kind of a later in the year type release. And, you know, I think Arcade1Up wants to put that cabinet out for the community. I know I will purchase it. I would purchase that thing in a heartbeat the minute it comes out, if they make one. But I don't think we're going to see it at CES. And when it comes to the fourth thing they're going to show off, so I think we're going to see Burger Time, NBA Jam. I think we're going to see The Simpsons. And then I think, and not I think, they've already kind of announced on the Retro Buzz internet cast, on which is broadcast Friday nights by the Tech Buzz and Glenn's Retro Show. They did announce that, hey, we are coming out with a pinball machine and it's going to be at CES. So it, as a prediction is, yes, it's going to be at CES. Now, what is it going to be? Is it going to be a static machine? Is it going to be an internet capable machine? What kind of titles and licenses is it going to have? Well, the way I look at it is this, guys. I don't know any more than you do, but if I had to predict, obviously Gottlieb and Farsight Studios and the Pinball Arcade are all kind of working with Toy Shock. So I honestly don't see that license being shared. I don't think we're going to see Gottlieb titles on the Arcade1Up pinball machine. I think we're going to see other titles. Now, whether that means Williams, Zen Studios, Stern, I really don't think it's going to be Stern because, you know, Stern, they have the ability to make this thing themselves. I don't know why they would license it out. So what does that leave you with, guys? If I had to guess, I would say their particular machine might have some of the more modern titles that people are looking for. Now, when it comes to the cost and size of the machine, I would assume that they would take a look at what Toy Shock did and obviously make the machine probably a little bit bigger, probably a bigger screen, probably it's going to be, it might be a surprise, but this might potentially, and don't quote me on this because I don't know, this might be their first internet capable machine. So we'll see how that goes. But those are my predictions for CES for Arcade1Up. I think we're going to see Burger Time. I think we're going to see NBA Jam. We're definitely going to see a pinball machine. And you never know. We might see some more bar tops and partycades. Stuff like that excites some folks, doesn't excite me. And then, of course, they also mentioned something about functional furniture. I have no idea what that means. Could be something as simple as we have a coffee table that could also be used as a as an arcade machine. Maybe it pulls out, not a cocktail table, but maybe a coffee table or something of that nature. I'm trying to think to myself, like, how could functional furniture and arcades be connected? It's kind of a brain teaser, but we'll find out at CES. So those are my predictions. I know some other guys are predicting X-Men. Some other guys think Dragon's Lair will be at CES. Some other guys are predicting other Atari-type titles, things of that nature. Some guys are predicting Double Dragon. Some guys are predicting Bubble Bobble and other games. If I had to put money on my bet, I would bet on Burger Time, NBA Jam, and then the virtual pinball machine for sure, and possibly The Simpsons. I don't think we're going to see Dragon's Lair or any other cabinets until kind of like mid-year. Anyway, guys, I know this was a longer podcast than what we wanted. We definitely want to keep these 20 minutes or less moving forward, but we did have a lot we had to talk about on this initial holiday episode. We wanted to go over our CES predictions for each company, so we had to spend a few quality minutes on each. Definitely appreciate you hanging out upstairs with us in the arcade loft and tuning into the Loft Report. We're proud to say we are your number 2 source for arcade news. And definitely do us a favor. Make sure you check us out on all the other mediums, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, to stay up to date on everything that's going on with PDubs Arcade Loft. I know I would greatly appreciate it. And let us know what you thought of the podcast. Let us know if you want to, what else you want to see. And by all means, guys, I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. Enjoy your Christmases with your family. Enjoy your New Year. And I'll see you all in 2020. Have a great day, guys.